I am kind of in a really bad, we'll do it live kind of mood today. So you never know what might happen. Let me start with, I got off the phone with a very well-placed source in the FBI. Very well-placed source. One that has access and knows. Would you agree with that description, Stu?
I would, yes.
Yeah, okay. And I said, well, first of all, it started with the Mediaite article, which I'll get into here in a second. And and I said, I'd just like to know what Dan saw that changed his mind. Because I know Dan Bongino. I know Kash Patel. I like both of those guys. I trust both of those guys. I do not trust the government. I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the DOJ. I don't trust the Treasury. I don't trust the Fed. I don't trust the milkman at this point. So, I think most of America is like that. My point yesterday was to make sure that we all understand that the lack of trust in our government is very, very dangerous. And none of us should be doing anything to enhance that lack of trust. Now, how do you repair it? Well, not by ignoring it, not by just saying don't talk about it. You have to address it head on. So I trust Kash Patel and I trust Dan Bongino. And I have said on this program, I am going to give them a year before I say anything, including Pam Bondi. I'm not going to sit here and condemn them for what I don't know what is happening. I know they're both, or all three of them, are surrounded by sharks. Okay? I know that the corruption is very deep in the FBI and the DOJ. So if I'm not seeing some arrests in the next year, a year from now, I will be coming on and I will be saying things. And Dan Bongino and Kash Patel would be the first to say, you should be. But the point I was making yesterday is I gave you the 7 phases of a republic or an empire. And all empires in history have fallen. And the last 2 things, the only 2 things that remain in this, 3,000-year epic story of the rise and fall of multiple empires, when you look at all of them, there are only 2 things left before we fall. And that is a complete lack of trust in everything and a collapse of the dollar. That's it. After that, we're done. For Father's Day, let your dad know he matters. Get him a gift from American Giant. They make clothing here at home with American cotton, American hands, and American heart. It's quality you can feel. Go to american-giant.com/Glenn and get 20% off your first purchase. That's american-giant.com/Glenn. And so yesterday I said, I don't know what to believe. But I don't believe that Epstein killed himself. Now, that is my belief, as I said to you yesterday. We cannot operate just on belief. We need facts. And in my monologue yesterday, I was saying, what kind of facts would you need to believe? For some people, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, coming out and saying that is enough. I told you yesterday, Stu, remember when we played the video of Dan Bongino saying, I've seen the evidence. He didn't kill himself. Remember what I said right after that? He's telling the truth. You have that video? Go ahead, play the video.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide.
People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Okay, I believe him. I believe him. That's not good enough for America, however. Now, I have also said on this program, do you want to feel good or do you want people to go to jail? I want people to go to jail. That's why I said with Pam Bondi, when on day number 2 after that debacle of the release of the file, I said, look, perhaps this is because they're still gathering evidence. They want to put people in jail, yada, yada. I don't know why they withheld that evidence. But to believe that Pam Bondi, because I asked the president on this, to believe that Pam Bondi has sold out and then Kash Patel and Dan Bongino all sold out means that you must then believe that Donald Trump knows it and is part of it. That's the problem. Who is left to believe? Now, I want to see the evidence because the country must see the evidence. You don't fix things, and they know this. You don't fix things by saying, you know what, trust me. Dan Bongino, you've heard him for years. He's never said that to me. I never heard him say that on the air. Trust me. He does. That's not the way he is. He's very much like me. Don't trust me. I don't ask for your trust. I don't want your trust. I don't ask for your trust. Don't trust anyone in my position. You can trust that we have the best intentions, but don't take anything I say as gospel truth because it's not. It's my opinion. It's the understanding of what is going on to the best of my ability. You can trust my intentions, but don't trust what I say. Do your own homework. The only way truth is sustainable is if it's your truth. If you're a Christian, you know this. You have a testimony. You can't feast on somebody else's testimony. I can't sit here and fix the country or feast on the testimony of Donald Trump, of Kash Patel. Do your own homework. It has to be yours. So the thing that we are waiting for that has to happen is the release of information. And that will come. And if it doesn't, well, then you have a problem. But it will come. I talked to this source yesterday. Now, I have read stories that disagree with this. Just yesterday, I think NPR, a very reliable source, as reliable as Mediaite, a very reliable source, says that there is no tape of the hallway in front of the prison cell. I talked to a well-placed source yesterday at the FBI that told me, yep, that tape does exist, and I saw it. And I saw the last person to go in the cell when he was alive and the first person to go back in the cell after he was dead. And I said, so there was no foul play? He said, no, wait. I want to separate two things. One, did someone go in the cell and kill him? Did somebody kill him? The answer, because of the video evidence that they say they saw, and I believe this source, they said the video evidence shows no one went into that cell. No one. Okay. But it doesn't show the cell. It doesn't show what happened. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing. So are you saying there was all of this was a coincidence? No. I am not saying that. I am not saying that there wasn't a desire to set him up. There might have been a desire to have somebody go in and kill him. it's a long string of things that happened that don't make any sense. Was there a conspiracy to kill him? I don't know, but probably a lot of people needed him dead. But did he kill himself or was he murdered by those people? The answer is he killed himself. Now, that doesn't mean you don't create the conditions that make you want to kill yourself. And I don't mean just sending you to prison. Yesterday, I spent all morning, and I'm so frustrated because the Republic is at stake. You know that, and I know that. I try to do my best to not... I mean, Stu and I talked about this yesterday. You know, neither one of us are the type to go in. I mean, if something happened, you know, at a store or something, got it wrong, and we're just, you know, and it's going to be a fight. Both Stu and I are both like, just leave it alone. I don't care. Because we don't like conflict in our life. And yet this is what we do for a living. This is not what we wanted to do. We started doing this show because we were making fun of talk radio. And then it got serious after 9/11, and we found ourselves doing it. We don't like conflict. I'm from an alcoholic family. I was the one that tried to make everybody laugh so we didn't see mom or, dad falling down the stairs or whatever was happening. I don't like conflict. But I find myself in a situation where the truth does cause conflict. And you must discipline yourself to search for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We cannot live in sound bites. We must understand the depth of what is going on. Because as I'm going to tell you here in a few minutes, there is a new concerted effort to bring our streets into chaos, bring our country into chaos. The left, I shouldn't say this, the Democrats are completely dead. It is run now by the uber dangerous left. That's who's calling the shots. And that they are going to, well, I'll use their own words, do everything that they've done in the past and take it to the next rung on the ladder. That's a quote. You want to save your republic? We cannot dismiss the people that we have grown to trust, that we have put our faith in. We need to give them time and let them show us the evidence. I want to see some arrests on a few things. I want to see the progress being made.